Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Collector's Edition Hawkman from 0 Hour. Let's get a better look at that packaging, shall we? So getting a better look at the packaging here, we of course have contents of the packaging right there. We have the hard to read foil McFarlane Collector Edition thing right there that's very hard to pick up on camera. We of course have the DC Multiverse logo right there, as long as the silver border along the packaging for all these figures. Then we of course have the silver nameplate for Hawkman right there. On the side we of course have Hawkman again. DC Multiverse up at the top, number 5 on the bottom there. On the back we have this artwork from, I don't believe it's from 0 Hour. It doesn't look old enough. It looks more modern. I'd say this is probably from like Convergence or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it is Hawkman from 0 Hour. It is the look from 0 Hour, but from what I've seen, it doesn't look like 0 Hour. And then you of course have the McFarlane Toys social medias. Of course, follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On the side, you of course have the McFarlane Collector Edition right there. Hawkman from 0 Hour. Of course, DC Multiverse logo up at the top. On the bottom, of course, again, number 5 with the McFarlane Toys logo right there. And of course, on the top, you have 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys right there. And of course, on the back, you have the Hawkman legalese, I guess. That's surprising it's not under Justice League, but whatever. And then you, of course, have the barcode for all of you barcode hunters out there. Alright guys, let's get this dude out of the packaging. And of course there is a little assembly required here, because you know Hawkman isn't Hawkman without his wings. So if you turn around, there's 2 little pegs on the back. Let's see if I can do this on camera. And of course the wing has a little peg right there. And so if you just put it in like so. Hopefully I can get this on camera. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. That's really tough. Come on. I think that's all right. Maybe. Does that look right? Oh, no. I don't know about that one, Chief. Maybe? Yeah, I don't know. There we go. And then, yes. We have one secured in there. And of course, onto the one I painstakingly avoided. Ooh, this one's tough. I think I might have to do this off camera. Of course, we have Hawkman fully assembled, not the packaging. And of course, before we take a look at the figure itself, we're of course going to take a look at the other contents, which you guys probably know what I'm about to say right now, because I do these every single time. First up, we have the stand, which of course with these collected editions has the white DC logo instead of the black one that's on the normal releases right there. See the difference? And they're also a little bit more blacker and less gray, so that's new. And you of course have the one peg right there. Of course the 4 little printouts like so. And then we of course have the individualized card right here with the image from the back of the packaging for Hawkman, and of course it says McFarlane Collector Edition right there. And of course on the back, this one apparently goes with the origin of Hawkman being a reincarnated Egyptian god. So that's cool. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. Hawkman's origins are all very confusing. Of course, he might be part of a species known as the Thanagarians, who of course are just people with bird wings. And then there's, of course, the reincarnation stuff that happened after Crisis on Infinite Earths, I believe. So there's stuff like that. And you, of course, have this stupid card holder. Flight stands, Todd. Flight stands. And then you, of course, he comes with his signature mace here. Very spiky. All that good stuff. Like the wrap around. I'd love to see some extra paint on that, but it's not ideal. This is as good of a mace you'll get. And it does have storage on Hawkman. As you see, there's a little loop right there. So if you just lift that loop up, he can put it right there, and you have storage on him in case you don't want to use the mace, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but hey, there it is. But let's put the mace to the side for now. Here's Hawkman. It is from his appearances in 0 Hour. I have not read 0 Hour, but before this review, I did a little Google search, and I found that it's the same hair, same look and everything. So I think we should talk about the wings first, since I already put them on. So yeah, the wings I think are a very interesting color. They're of course purple with a gray, with a white wash on them. And I think it works decently well. I'd much prefer just a gray instead of like the purple. I think it does fit the design overall because of the color of the pants and the whole blue as a whole. I think it works very well. But this isn't just I'd much prefer just a classic, you know, Hawkman. And there is a variant of that, which that sucks that it's the variant and this is the regular release. But besides that, I think the wings are very good. They're, of course, connected with a ball hinge, so you can move them far out like so. And you, of course, can rotate it if you so choose. It's pretty difficult because of how they are attached. But you can hear the little clicks in there, so you can do it. And they are pushed all the way in. During the wing segment, I had this wing kind of pushed farther out, and I get nervous every time because I think I'm gonna break something. But yeah, besides that, I think the wings are pretty solid on this figure. And then of course we go to the head. I like the design of the head. Of course, it's a flimsy material here, but mine seems to have come out relatively unscathed. I like the gold, the more gold yellow on the cowl aspect of the helmet, and then the more brass up top, like so. You of course have the straps with the Hawkman logo right there. Nice sculpted, hairy chest right there. Of course, you got veiny biceps right there with some hair on the arms right there. Of course, have this gauntlet with what seems to be different kinds of tassels. I don't know. I'm not a Hawkman guy. And you can also see much more of the hair sculpt on the other side. And then one thing that really annoys me is the fact that they didn't get a blue colored wrist peg. It's a flesh colored wrist peg on what seems to be a glove. So L Todd for that. Then you of course have the belt, which has some nice pouches with lack of paint, because even on the card the pouches are different slightly, but it is what it is. Then you of course have boots on the bottom with that gold disc right there, going down to the seemingly sculpted ankle joints right there, which makes it look nice and flush. We love to see it. But also the black hair too. I think that's decently nice, but he's a relatively plain figure, to be honest. It's really the wings and the head sculpt that really are the stuff to talk about, because I think the head sculpt's really solid, and also the wings are decent enough. And I didn't get the Sky Tyrant, so I don't know if these are the Sky Tyrant wings. Let me know in the comments down below. I've been trying to really get Sky Tyrant to complete my Merciless. He's missing a head. But I don't think these are the Sky Tyrant wings, but if they are, it doesn't really bother me. But let's take a look at that articulation. We of course have, he is on a double ball peg, but because of the hair, he can only look straight down, straight forward, and then look down like that. He of course can rotate, but the hair will get bunched up and stuff like that, so it's best to leave him front facing. You of course have nice armpit joints right there that even have some gappage in there sometimes. Very loose shoulder joints right here. And of course, he can rotate all around, but it'll hit the wings, of course. You of course have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Yeesh. Then you of course have the wrist joints, which you can move, roll the dice, and of course you can rotate the wrist like so, and do front to back, even though I know that's technically breaking his wrist. But to get the point across. Nice abdomen, even though it's very stretchy in sense, you can probably hear it. Can move that far forward, that far back, of course, side to side. Standard McFarlane legs right in there that can move that far forward, that far back. He has that barely thigh pivot. You of course have double joint knees, which look pretty okay. And then for the ankle, you of course can rotate at the top of the ankle, and at the bottom you of course can move down, move up, ankle pivot, and of course toe articulation. And here we are with what I believe is all of the members of the Justice Society that's released so far. We of course have Injustice 2 Dr. Fate, Jay Garrick, and Alan Scott there, with of course our new Hawkman from 0 Hour. But overall, I think these three right here are really solid as a little start to Justice Society collection booming, even though, ironically, these three are also getting new books coming out pretty soon. I saw in, I believe I was reading an issue of Batman The Adventures Continue. It was an ad for a Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, and Hawkman run, all of them. So I think that's going to be very interesting going forward. And it's also very interesting that we have these three out first. Even though, again, these look fantastic together. Even though Jay Garrick is a little bit more texturized than these guys here. These guys are definitely more comic booky than Jay Garrick's here, because he has a weird case of having the realism without trying to be realistic. He's a very weird case, but it really works for his figure. But overall, as a collective, they look really solid, and I can't wait to have Hawkman up there with my fellow Justice Society members. Right there. Here we have the second collector edition wave so far. We of course have Hawkman and Firestorm right there. Both pretty good figures, even though I like Firestorm a bit more for his, versatility and stuff like that. But Hawkman's still very solid, and they surprisingly go very well together. Again, just wish he was brighter, Here we of course have Hawkman where he belongs, with the C-list heroes. We of course have Booster Gold, Firestorm again, and then of course Captain Atom and Blue Beetle on the end there. And you're getting the good cast of ancillary members of the Justice League right there that nobody really cares about. I mean, people, they have their fans, I know that, but they're not, they're always ancillary members. They're never like permanent, they're not A-listers. They're not even B-listers. They're C-listers. They don't even have super villains. And if they do, they have one. Like, very underrated characters here. Some gems, though. Not gonna lie. A team we've been getting a lot of recently. The JLI. The Justice League International. And, of course, we have Booster, Manhunter, Hawkman, Batman, and Blue Beetle right there. And again, great addition to a Justice League International team if you like that team. I don't know why you would, unless you grew up with it, but if you like the JLI, there they are pretty much. So yeah guys, that's kind of winded down here for our review of Hawkman from the Collector Edition Wave. Overall, final thoughts. Hawkman is one of those characters you just need in whatever team you're collecting. For some reason, Hawkman is in every single team you can think of, and yet is the least popular character in all of them. I mean, of course, I have a respect for Hawkman, much more appreciate Hawkgirl for the extensive work the people over in the DCAU did for Hawkgirl, gave her a lot of dimension, and actually gave her decent writing. Unlike Hawkman, really, who's been shafted so many different times, and to the point where it's kind of became a joke. And because of that, I think a lot of people were wanting a Hawkgirl more than a Hawkman. And Hawkman's cool and everything, but every single ability he has, another hero does better. He's got super strength, Superman, Martian Manhunter. He's a tank, but not really. He's got a mace. Hawkgirl also has a mace and is a way better character. So, honestly, he's very much just a void in your collection that you need to fill. But, I mean, if you're looking to get him for any Justice League, you gotta get him. If you're getting any Justice Society, you gotta get him. But outside of that, if you're looking for the cream of the crop, this is not really that it. The wings aren't that impressive. They just go back and forth. The mace is pretty cool. The head sculpt is pretty alright. But I think I'd much prefer the variant to this one, where the variant is much more colored. It has the green and orange kind of color scheme that we all associate with Hawkman and Hawkgirl. But with this one, it's relatively bland, and if I had to give him a rating, I'd have to give him a 7. Like, he has a good sculpt and everything. It's not that he has a bad sculpt or anything, or he's difficult to stand, or none of that. It's just the fact that, the wings aren't that great, and it's Hawkman. Suffice to say, I'm sorry. But, of course, if you like Hawkman, tell me why. I'd really be interested in changing my opinions on Hawkman. But, of course, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think about Hawkman down in the description below. And as always, keep collecting and stay peaceful out there. And I will catch you guys in the next video featuring another character from this wave, the final character in the wave. And I will see you guys then. Peace.